Okay, this is not configuration, but I'm gonna save these for the next time. From my notes, see title, configuration, config bot, series, title. Let's just say series. This will be the title, and this will be the description. If I was smart, I would have done this beforehand. The project. How should I call the project? I haven't thought of that still. Number 1. So this is gonna be the first in the series. It's the open source project. Open source project series number 1, creating GitHub. Right. So, and the description, I think I should just change it completely. This project is intended to be well, I don't want to say interactive because it's not interactive per se. It's intended to be collaboration, yes. Collaboration with viewers who are interested in writing and programming. And want to contribute, want to practice, contribute to the project. Practice. Save. I'll save the title, config series, the project series. Series. Right. Did all. Okay, let's check real quick. Does it actually have a description? Does the stream have a description? Let's try editing it. Oh, it shows that I'm offline. Okay, I'm not offline. It should show that I'm streaming. Well, it's gonna be Inception, but I am streaming. Right. And editing doesn't want to open. Okay, well, doesn't want to open, I guess. Alright. So this is the meat and potatoes of today's stream. GitHub. Yes, if you don't know what GitHub is, short, it's a website where you can publish. So basically, well, I guess the important thing to know at the very beginning is what source control is. So source control is a piece of software that lets, well, guess the hint is in the name. It controls the source. Well, in this particular case, the source code. And well, why would you need something like that? Is because when you write software, you make a lot of changes, a lot of iterations, and for one, it's really nice to see the history. So, for example, if I go my project that I'm working on, the configuration bot, like the project is getting quite big. And like this is just the beginning. Like this is like the wireframe for the whole project. It's gonna be a lot larger in the end. Well, looking at the file structure, like it will have a bunch of other menus. I'll probably need different data classes and so on. So it's definitely not in its final form. But there's always a but. Let's see, I don't really want menu. I think menu is a good one. So if I go to the teams and show in history. So yeah, so I can see like all the commits I made and when they were made 9 months ago, 7 months ago. Yeah, and recently I started. So yeah, I haven't been working on this. Last commit was bot initial commit. Oh yeah, I guess it was something was updated in the file. Can I double click and see what happened? Maybe I shouldn't do that because the source code was sanitized not that long ago. So maybe I shouldn't open the changes that have been done. But the point is that, for example, finalized implementation of language selection. Yeah, so we can take a look at this and like you can see a bunch of changes that have been committed. So basically you have our current version and the version from that branch. So what's different? You can see like yeah, the menus were different back then, hasn't been implemented the changes. So this has been added. Get custom button, get button. So this is current version. Get components was there. A bunch of things. So these lines have been changed, it's all commented out. And well, this method hasn't changed all that much. Okay, this line was split into these two lines with some major changes, I guess. Alright, so it's really cool to see. Well, for example, you know that you had something working quite a while ago, so you can go back and check. Well, sometimes it's not all that convenient to see what's different between this and this version. So, pretty sure there's a way to compare it. Not really sure how. Actually, well, I haven't used that feature in a long time. Big difference. Set this baseline. Oh, so this will be the baseline. So now I can see what's changed now, but now I can do reset baseline. Actually don't remember how, but you can view changes between different versions. Maybe I do this. Compare with each other. Yes, that's what I want. So between these two commits, what has been changed? So yeah, you can see the whole history. So source control is really useful tool. Now, what source control has to do with the website? Well, quite a lot in this case. Basically, So source control performs this basic function, and the source control software that I use, and I'd say it's like a baseline in current days, is Git, which, well, that's where GitHub gets its name. Well, it borrows the name. Well, GitHub and Git, like GitHub was created to create a publicly available. It's like a hosting service for Git repositories, something like that. Well, I haven't researched the history, but you know, it makes sense that this kind of service would be needed. Like, not everyone. Well, you can download Git and run it locally, and you would get all of these features, which is fine. But another cool thing is you can actually see the author in the commits. So you can actually see if someone, well, when you're working in a team, like instead of sending files back and forth via email or Discord or any other means, you usually exchange changes in the code or exchange code using one of these source control repositories. So let's see, can I find a good representation? This, well, I've seen plenty of slides that explain this very well. Git repository structure best practice. Let's see what that says. I want an image. Right. So yeah, this is quite. Where's the image? Okay. So this looks quite good. An image. New tab. Ants. So yeah. So we would have a central repository. So you see, each developer has its own instance of Git running. So which has his local changes and so on. And whenever he wants on demand, he can push his own changes from his local. Like, he can pick and choose what he wants to push, and he can push it into the central repository. So basically this is one Git instance, but it's accessible to everyone. It's public, well, sort of public. Usually you don't want to be your source code to be publicly accessible, but it's based like somewhere in your in your internal network where your developer team has access to it. So this is like a central repository which keeps track of your current current version and changes that are sort of implemented. Usually you don't commit code that is not functional, that's not finished, into the central repository. It's meant for, like, if you're a new developer and you need to start developing a feature, so this is where you get your source code from the central repository. And so this is one Git instance running on a server, and each developer on his machine, on top of like all the environment applications that he uses, he would have another Git instance that will be like a clone, sort of this repository. Well, I think the command is named clone, which makes a copy like of this central repository locally, and yeah. But so this is the basic structure of how source control works. So where GitHub comes into picture, or what it does, what services provides, it provides a hosting for this central repository. So you create an account, you create a repository, and then people can clone your code and push their changes, request, pull, push, commit, whatever, rebase, fetch, pull, yeah. So all of these things. I don't even know what's the exact difference between these commands, but apparently this pull, rebase, and fetch works, does something based on the central repository to your repository, and push and commit tries to push or commit the code from your local repository, changes from local repository to the central repository. So GitHub provides like a hosting service. So in case you don't have a server yourself, you can set up your own repository, you can set up access permissions and so on. So when you create the person who creates the account has all the tools he needs to set it up the way he wants. So if you want everyone to be able to access it, you can. If you want it to be private, you also can do that. Even though that kind of repository is actually not free, as far as I remember. I only used GitHub once when I was a student, and I needed a repository for my bachelor's degree project. So for that one I used GitHub, and I had to pay for it because I wanted the source code to be private, and I gave access to whoever needed access at that time. Right, and yeah, it was a terrible project. I'm it says okay, let's not think about it. But yeah, so that's the last time. Like, it's been more than 10 years ago at this point that I've used GitHub. GitHub's been around for quite a while. Since then, GitHub evolved quite a bit. Since it provides free hosting for open source projects, so if your source code is freely accessible to everyone, then you get free hosting. So it is very attractive for open source projects, and a lot of them, I would say maybe even majority of them, well, probably majority of them are hosted on GitHub. That's how it became synonymous with source control. But GitHub is actually a web page which uses Git, which is source control software, source control, yeah. And GitHub is a web page which underneath uses Git, but on top of that, it also provides a bunch of other features that usually come from different software solutions in software development. Things like bug tracking, documentation, management of tasks, and so on. So all of these things come with GitHub, but doesn't come with source controller software by default. So GitHub has some added value on top of just being a source control repository. I think that's all I wanted to talk. So I think it should be clear what GitHub is and what Git is, and what's the difference and what's the point. Right. What is this? How did I... what? Oh, this is the webpage I'm looking at. Dumb. So yeah, this is what GitHub is. So enterprise stream. See, what does it say for itself? Features, mobile, action, code spaces, packages, security, code review, issues, integration. Say about integration. What kind of integration do they mean? Built to grow. Discover your tools. Continuous integration. Continuous integration is a term used in, well, it's not a term, it's like a what would you call it? It's not an idea, but it's a practice, or it's a thing in software development. That's the best way to summarize it, I guess. But well, to name it. But what it means is the continuous integration aims to perform all the, well, automate well, its goal is to automate everything, all the steps in software development that come after writing the actual code. Because in theory, when the developer makes changes to the code that, well, finishes writing a feature, like fully tests it, writes all the tests for it, and basically it's ready and done, then all the rest of the steps in theory could be automated. So then you need to validate that all the previous old tests are still running. So running of tests is, well, I guess it could be, testing could be laborious and time intensive task, but if you use automated tests, then it's not an issue to make them run on demand, to check that all the other old functionality didn't break with implementation of the new feature. So after that, well, I guess building is also sometimes performed. Some applications need to have binaries built out of the source code for it to be able to run. So that's also can be automated. Like, there's no reason why a person would have to enter manually the command to build the project. And the last would be deployment. One of the last major step. When you have the binary or the ready-to-use code that's tested and also has all the green lights, then it has to be deployed to the server, which actually runs that piece of software. Well, it could be that it's not meant to be run on the server. It could be just distributed in other ways to end users. Like, it has a centralized server. So, for example, when you have a piece of software, for example, this could be a good example. Chatty, when Chatty made a change, hey, welcome back. I'm explaining what continuous integration is, if you're interested, because GitHub mentioned it. So yeah, good example of distributing software would be this. Like, so when you make, instead of like in continuous integration, last step would be deployment, and not all applications are run on the server. So sometimes it's run by the users themselves. Like this chat application is run by me on my home computer. It doesn't have a server component. But it has distribution mechanism built in, so it calls back and checks if its current version is up to date, and then if it's not, then it gives me an option to update. So yeah, so if I want, I can download and update myself. Well, I have to download and update it myself. It's not automated, but you can do it in an automated way. So Windows does updates like that. It automatically detects that the updates are there and just pushes them down your throat. Usually, that's that's one way to do it. Right, but you know, those are the basic concepts. So build to grow, in applications, blah blah blah. What was it saying? From continuous integration to code review. Let's see, so what project are you creating? I think I'm gonna go with VPN, because I didn't spend all that much time thinking about it, and I think we'll just go with VPN. I think it's a cool concept. It will be, the software itself shouldn't be too complicated, but it will touch a lot of theory about computer science that I think would be interesting. Like, it will make for good content from my perspective, because I'll have a lot of things to research and explain, but the code itself wouldn't be too complicated, hopefully. So I think I'll stick with that, unless someone else comes with a better solution, better suggestion. But yeah, I like VPN. And on top of that, I think if it's implemented right, I definitely see a potential that people are well, since there are VPN providers that are successfully throwing money left and right to to sponsor events, sponsor content creators, sponsor everything. Like they have a lot of revenue to spend on advertising. Apparently it's a popular service, so it is in demand, and it's nothing, it doesn't provide anything very special, but if people want it, we can implement it in like most open and make improvement on current implementations, because it all works good. It's like the same story with Google. Like the Google, when it initially started and it was a small company, well, it grew very fast at the beginning, but initially it was very open and very ethical company. Like its motto was, I don't remember, don't be evil, or don't do evil. I don't remember what's the motto. It changed over time. So they do plenty of evil things now, and it's just another giant corporation. So problem with VPN providers is the same, because it's owned by a company. Even though company is currently very ethical and has all the good publicity and does everything right, that will change over time. Well, most likely. Well, all the companies change over time. When they grow, they become more corporate, and yeah, so it's basically inevitable as far as I can tell. And having an open solution that looks out for, well, where source code is public, so anyone can review and make sure that it's actually doing what it's supposed to be doing. And not even that, it has a built-in incentives for both, well, the incentives, I guess, for actually being part of the network for the VPN. So, you know, I think it has legs. And when the wave of currently popular VPN providers will die down, I think it will be, yeah, the demand won't disappear for VPNs. So yeah, so I think I'll go with VPN in short. I'm not sure, how do you feel about it? What do you think about it? Is it a valid idea? Am I misunderstanding something maybe? Like, I haven't done any research. It's based on my anecdotal understanding of the market. It is okay. I assume it is good, but where do we find the right documentation? That's the problem. Well, we'll see. This is gonna be a journey. I guess first of all we'll start with GitHub, creating an account for the project, and see. I'm not sure. Should I make a new email? Like, GitHub is so fancy now. After, like, I've used GitHub more than 10 years ago for my bachelor's degree. Well, not thesis, but well, my bachelor's degree had a project I had to make for my bachelor's degree, to get my bachelor's degree. So I used that for publishing my source code, and I hopefully no one will ever find it, because it's terrible. It's basically, it was a fake project to make look like it's working. It just basically had some pre-rendered images to show that it actually works when nothing. It was terrible. I basically put it off so much. Hey, hello Risk, welcome back. So basically I put off my bachelor's degree project for so long that in the end I just didn't have enough time to actually implement it properly. So I just made something that I can show during the presentation. I guess I was lucky because people weren't very observant, and they just didn't really care all that much. So everyone did their presentation and moved on. So there were like 20 people that had to do their presentation. So I was just one of many. And I get like 8 out of 10 for my bachelor's degree. I made it work afterwards, like because I continued my bachelor's degree work after I finished. I went into master's degree and I continued that work. So I fixed everything, and eventually it was working as intended. It wasn't just purely just a scam. Eventually I made it right, but yeah, that was terrible. Right. So about the email, I think I'll just use my own email I use for bot development. I could make a new one, but you know, it's my have my mail software open. So my email is everytimebots Gmail. Let's see, create a password. Okay, let's make an entry in my password manager. Let's see, where should I put it? Never actually thought about it. Social networks. Like I have a bunch of like, this is how my password manager structure looks like. It has a bunch of things. So I have like, oh, well, I'm sure you know what password manager is. So where should I put it? Planning maybe? Public services. So this is for government services. Other platforms, crypto, work. Maybe I put it to work. Yeah, every time. I even have a folder for every time under work. YouTube comments working? They should be. Oh, you know what? I probably. Okay, YouTube comments not working. Ended up copying it. Today was the deadline. I had project to do. Oh, so you did the project? Yeah. So sorry, that was my bad. I had the window with comments minimized, so yeah, it had nothing to show. Yeah, the comments are working. So you had a project, so it was for your internship, right? Okay, let's make an entry. Title. Time. GitHub. Let's see, username. Imagine this is my username. The password will be generated. Nah, it wasn't. Oh, so it was for school. What did you do? What kind of project did you do? It was for the university, our web dev class. Oh, so the web. Okay. Well, from what I've seen, it wasn't too complicated, so that's good. Well, it was mostly HTML. Did you do any JavaScript? Replica of Spotify. Only the front end. Replica of Spotify. But isn't that just... Well, I guess if you need to make it from scratch, you can't just copy paste the... You can't go to Spotify. Spotify.com. I hate that this window doesn't change color. Like everything is dark theme, but the home window isn't. Oh, so it isn't Lithuanian at all as well. Very nice. Change to English. Is everything. So it's Lithuanian English. That's a new thing. Never thought I would see Lithuanian English. So yeah, if you can't just inspect and copy all the code, yeah, I guess it could be a challenge. Yeah, I just copied it from someone else's. I see. Well, it's I'm not sure what's the point of an exercise like that. What were you supposed to learn? What were they teaching you about, like that this was like a proper way to assess your skills, like how to copy paste? It's a little bit odd. Right, the password. How long should the password should be? I made passwords too long before. Well, the funniest thing is with Steam. Yeah, that was funny. Oh, not that funny, I guess, but since I couldn't log in anymore. At least in Lithuania you have proper units to go to. Unis. Oh. Yeah, I guess. Not sure. We were told to design the home page. So to design or to copy? So for software engineering. I'm not sure. Like, I'd say going for software engineering, universities like It's like your last resort. If you don't know what to do, how to get started with software development, then you go to the university. Otherwise, it's not really, yeah, you shouldn't bother with the university. At least in Lithuania. And because I know in India, Risk explained that it's definitely not the case. It's my fault, of course, not copy. Oh, you were told to design. Okay. Okay, right. I guess if it is about design, but then why? Maybe then the task was to redesign Spotify homepage or something. Spotify is not that interesting of a page. Now, Eunice, you're being taught electrical engineering more than programming. Well, it was the same here. Like, I know Ohm's law and all the stuff that goes with investigating schematics of electrical schematics with it. I had to learn all of that crap as well, and all the physics behind it, and so on. Like, we even had philosophy. Yeah, so take that for a subject, philosophy, for a developer. So it's in India, no degree equals no knowledge. It's entry barrier means even if you know skills, you need the degree to show them that I know skills related to this. Yeah, it kind of sucks. I guess the employment environment here is sophisticated maybe enough to look past that, so your skills carry you. Like, no one cares. Like, there's such a big demand for developers that no one cares about your degree. Like, no one even asks. You bring it like, yeah, it's there. Like, nobody cares. no one asks anything about your degree unless you have absolutely nothing to tell. Absolutely, you have no substance. You have no knowledge. Then yeah, maybe. PayPal, GitHub. So password will be this. Yeah, this strong. Continue. Oh, this is my password. Let's regenerate that real quick. Oh, I have seen a lot of developers from Lithuania. You have seen? What do you mean? Yeah, that was funny blooper. Generate a new one. Accept. Yeah, that's I guess the what's its name? Clipboard is not my friend, not a streamer's friend. Yeah, we need to make sure that let's copy something else. So let's copy something over that won't be in my. I'm sorry, did I break your concentration? So spamming you. Oh, Nightbot. Okay. Reading out loud Nightbot's messages. Okay. So username. I guess I'll have it a separate username. So what could be a username at the time? Seems to make sense. Would you like to receive product updates and announcements via email? Oof. Probably not. Yeah, let's go with no. I don't care about GitHub's updates all that much, especially now when it's owned by Microsoft. I'm sure there will be plenty of corporate updates. Please solve this puzzle to verify you are human. Click start puzzle to continue. Okay, well, that's the puzzle. Pick the spiral galaxy. So this one. And spiral galaxy again. So this looks like spiral one. Okay. Yeah. You need to. So baseline for being a human is never save passwords. Is to know shapes of galaxies, names of galaxies. That's interesting. So computer is not aware of galaxies. Almost done. We sent your code to my email. Okay, let's open my email off stream. There it is. Shows one new email. GitHub code and Hey, how many emails will be working? I have no idea. Are you a student or a teacher? I'd say a teacher in this case. I mean, why do I need to answer this? Why do they care? Skip personalization. Yeah, I don't care about this. Puzzle is hard, yeah. Okay, so this has changed drastically. I have no recollection of what it is, how it actually works. Introduce yourself. The easiest way to introduce yourself. Okay, I don't really want to get to do an introduction right now. Without any code. What? Using a hello world guide. Create a parser's repository and start branch. Write comments and open a pull request. Like, what does it mean, pull request? Like, doesn't make sense. Pull is when you actually copy the clone or get the changes. Like, what? Okay, whatever. I think I want this because I want to create your first project. Okay, let's do it. Don't really want. Maybe I should read the guide. Like, I should know all of the things, but just in case, let's have a guide open. In case I get lost or something gets confusing. Let's see. Just download GitHub desktop client if you don't want to learn terminal commands. Well, I use, well, it uses Git. Like, there is a GitHub desktop client? What the hell? What the hell is that? That sounds disgusting. I think maybe you mean Git client. And Git client is built into like developer tools. So I have, like, I was explaining at the beginning what Git is, and this is well, since I use my own Git repository, like on my home server, I run a Git instance. So if I go to Git repository, so all of these are repositories created on my own server. So yeah, I use Git for all of the code I write. I push, well, actually my main server is currently down, so it's not actually being saved on the server, but that's besides the point. And this is the way I interact with Git, is through a plugin. I don't remember what's the name of it. I think it comes with all Eclipse installations by default, because just everyone uses it. If I open this, it will be listed here or not? Maybe it won't. Marketplace. I guess it's built in. No? Okay. That's a new bot. That's a new message. Much better. Stop spamming. What do you mean much better? Oh, this is interesting. Okay, let's go and chat. Quickly do the thing. Oh, it won't be visible anymore. Okay. So that's how I interact with Git. I don't have like a dedicated GitHub desktop client. Like, that sounds horrible. Why would I need such a thing? Yeah, bots like me. Exactly. That is true. So repository name. So last chance to get a suggestion for a project, because I'm just gonna go with VPN. Like, we need a good name for VPN. OpenVPN is already a thing that's quite widely used, and it is open source, and I've used it myself. But can't really think of a good name. CryptoVPN? blockchain VPN. Like I want to include some buzzwords, but okay, so this is just a repository name, so I guess it doesn't really matter. VPN. Yeah, VPN. Create repository name. Description. Collaboration project with streamers. Ooh, Cryptonator. Yeah, but it doesn't sound like it. It has to be obvious what it is. Like crypto is just a buzzword that I would like to include, but it has to say that it's VPN. Private network? No. Public network? Well, whatever. I guess we'll have time to come up with a name. So it will be public. Let's have a readme file and gitignore as well. Maybe we don't need gitignore actually in. Well, someone will commit it then. Choose a license. What kind of license? Oh, this is the part I hate about open source software, because it has to be published under one for all for 10 minutes. Okay. Well, don't close the stream or something. Yeah, licensing is a little bit odd. I don't remember what's the difference. Like, I need to find the table of open source license comparison. Who can remember? I guess if you work with open source software a lot. Oh yeah, it's in Wikipedia. Yeah, Wikipedia will have a decent one. So yeah, this is all the features, all the things that are supported. Oh, it's still spamming? Crap. Why Nightbot? No, Nightbot is even acknowledging it. I guess it's spamming on this YouTube chat. I hope so. And Nightbot is providing free advertising now. I don't want to block Nightbot, but I might. Let's see. So these are a whole bunch of licenses, open source licenses that you can publish under. And so you have all the restrictions you can impose using your license. Let's find the greenest one. It has yes to all. Let's see, what is this? Trademark grant, sublicensing, private use, patent grant, modification, distribution, linking. What is a trademark grant? Oh, so if it has a trademark, we let it we let use our trademark. I guess it doesn't matter. So academic free license. I wonder if it's actually possible to publish under it. Yeah. There it was. Hey, welcome back, Vax. We're learning about licensing. I don't see anything like that. So let's look for another option. Permissive. What does it mean? Python Software Foundation license. Scroll up. Do you mean in here? Yeah, it's only Apache license. Yeah, I don't see any. Oh, interesting. I just slapped MIT on my stuff. Yeah, well, I don't wanna just slap it. I know that there's so many of them, and I barely care to know the difference. But I wanna do some, at least minimal amount of research. So going on Wikipedia and seeing what they actually mean. Let's see, where is MIT? MIT license. Manually. What does it mean manually? patent grant. What does it mean? Yes, permissive manual. Yeah, I think it's good enough. Apache license. Apache license. Oh yeah, Apache license does all of these things. Yeah, let's go with Apache. That looks like a more green option. I think it limits that. Oh no, actually Apache is used in quite a lot of enterprise software, which is fine. If someone wants to take this project and make it into a product, a private product, they're fine with that. I think I'm fine with that. Apache. Okay. Create a repository. Cool. So this is the structure. License and readme. Now, the thing is, how do I get access to it? Create new release, no packages, no pull requests. What does it mean, pull request? Like, what does pull request mean? Like, I never knew this term. Like, why do you need to initialize a pull request or what? Pull requests help you collaborate on code with other people. As pull requests are created, they'll appear here in searchable and filterable list. Why do I need to create it? Compare. Choose different branches or fork above to discuss and review changes. So yeah, learn about pull requests, because this is not something I understand. Pull request is a request from somebody to merge some changes into the main. What? It's a push. Like, why is it called a pull if it's a push? Like, well, it doesn't make sense in my head, because push is something that when you try to commit, like when you put push code to the source, but not pull. Pull is when you get the code. Okay, whatever. Okay, pull request tells that you tell others about changes you pushed. So why it says in the same sentence, pull is what you've pushed. What? It's made to be confusing intentionally? Like, why? Once a pull request is opened, like, dumb. This is dumb. This is dumb but extra stupid. And this is a message I need to. This doesn't make sense. About pull requests. Why is it? Right. So I guess it. So why would? So if it. It is request to pull the changes into main code, so isn't that called merging? So why need a confusing term for something that already has a name? Allows people to see changes you have pushed. So you push your changes to your fork branch. Yeah, okay, that makes sense. Then you create a request for the main maintainer to pull what you pushed earlier into main code. Okay, well, I guess I'm used to the different terminology of merging. I would call that activity merging, where you merge changes from a branch into the main branch. Yeah, I guess I just get this. Maybe it's Git's fault. Then maybe it's Linus's fault. By Linus I mean Linus Torvald, who created Git. The following: if you're on shared repository model, we recommend that you use a topic branch for your pull request. Some pull request. Merge request also works as well. It's just the name they went with. Yeah, yeah, because pull. Okay. Okay, I won't rant about this. I just never used GitHub, so I'm a bit new to this. We never used pull request as a term in our teams. What did we use for source control? I don't remember. We used a lot of stuff, like there are lots of solutions for source control, and I think I used Git only once. Alright. So pull request would be asking to merge branch into the main. Okay, so but I don't really have any branches yet, so that's pointless. Actions. Get started with GitHub Actions. Build, test, and deploy your code. Make code reviews, branch management, and issue. Right. So Azure isn't the first choice. I wonder if Amazon Web Services is here as well. I doubt it. Somehow. It has IBM Cloud. Oh, ECS, Amazon ECS. AWS is not here? Maybe this is the version. Oh, by Amazon Web Services, okay. It is a nice way to keep specific updates in a separate discussions before merging them, instead of everyone just pushing stuff to the main code when they want to. Well, I imagine the maintainer should approve, well, should have to like review the changes that are getting pushed and or the branch that is being merged. Oh, well, the term would be the same, like it wouldn't change anything. I understand that it is a good feature to have to create requests and be able to have communications grouped to that specific pull request or merge. So actions, yeah, this is not really relevant. It's for deployment, continuous integration, automation, manual. Yeah, I'm very surprised that they have. I guess this came along before Microsoft bought it. I imagine Azure is much more preferred. It's for Node.js. So what do you think about the project, about the VPN idea? Do you think maybe there's something else we should do? Because I feel like VPN is a very good choice. Project. Okay. Wiki. Security. This is an interesting part. Security policies. Code scanning. Really interested. Insights. So this is in settings. Settings probably is where the majority of the interesting stuff is. Branches. And there's currently no branches, just the main one. Collaborators. Oh. It's public and visible to anyone. 0 collaborators, okay. Now, how do I actually connect to it? Now, that's the question. Okay. Let's see, what is this new repository? And where do I get your profile? So I guess somewhere inside my private settings. Okay, let's Google it. See what Google suggests. Connecting to GitHub repository. Using a command line. Okay, let's see what command line you need. Using Git command line tool, GitHub desktop. Oh, well, GitHub desktop is a thing. Oh, disgusting. Yeah, but well, this is the third option. Is I guess the most commonly used option. Well, it will be very similar to just using the. Well, you need to set it up. and yeah, it will be, well, it will have similar functionality with the Git tool, uh, Git command, when you set it up in your desktop in your environment. So I have, like I was showing off, that I have a bunch of repositories, Git repositories already set up, but these are all hosted by me. So, well, I know all the everything I've done manually myself, and I have no idea how GitHub handles that, since I haven't used it in ages. Right. Using stuff that comes with your editor is most convenient, while the command line is universal and provides the most options. You can always use a combination of them. Yeah, that is true. So if you need something very obscure or very specific, yeah, you would definitely use a command line. But yeah, like 99% of the times, yeah, the integrated tool in your development environment will do the job. So in terminal, push changes. Right. Out CLI. Add a project locally. Import code to GitHub. Okay. Some importer. Oh, Subversion. Oh, Subversion. I know that name. That's another source control management software. Knowing command line is also nice for times you're using unfamiliar environment. I try to avoid unfamiliar environments. So I'm very conscious of having a very comfortable working environment at my machine. So everything is set up just the way I like it, and I don't really care for if I like for some reason if I have to connect and do some work in some machine that's unfamiliar for me. Yeah, that's not gonna happen, and I'm completely fine with that. Like, that's something that happens, like the environment changes once in like X years. So why would you keep track of, well, I wouldn't bother retaining those skills for that. Like you especially, for example, I've used this desktop environment that I'm streaming from for 2 years now. Just the way you are. Maybe that's just the way I am, but I don't really see the point, because, well, you don't go coding like when you go see your friends, even if they are developers. You just don't start writing code or working on your own projects when you're at their machine. So that's not a thing that happens. Maybe if you're just in somewhere else, like at guests, like if you're visiting guests and you feel the urge to write some code, like why do you need this to connect to like your desktop environment? Like it just doesn't really make much sense. What the hell? Why is this bot so aggressive? Oh, and also GitHub command line interface, which you use in combination with Git. Wow, this bot is going hard. Block user on YouTube. Let's delete messages. I need to do this. Okay, something went wrong, meaning it's probably blocked already. Right. Move this message. Whatever. Should be sorted. Like, I doubt anyone's watching on YouTube. Let's see if actually someone is. Destinations. Yeah, there's one viewer, so I assume it's risk. Oh, you stream on YouTube? Yeah, I stream on YouTube just because YouTube saves all the replays for infinite amount of times. I don't really appreciate putting all this effort explaining stuff for it to be lost in 2 weeks. So that's why you can find the whole history. I think I started like there's like a couple of weeks missing, but then I was playing Minecraft, I'm doing the competition thing. You don't need to delete them. Nightbot auto deletes it. Well, hopefully it does, but I see it on my screen. It doesn't auto delete it from the chat in Restream because I'm streaming on both platforms. Well, this is the chat you can actually see. You can see messages from both YouTube and Twitch, and apparently it doesn't delete it from here. So that's why I'm doing it manually. I'm sure there is a better solution, but like it's not all that often. Like I can't be bothered to find time to investigate how to set it up just yet. Like it doesn't take all that much time. Well, for now. It does on mine. Yeah, but it doesn't delete message. Yeah, it does delete on your chat, but it doesn't delete on this window where the chat is seen. Hey, give me a sub if you. Yeah. So. Yeah, but the downside with YouTube is watching live is there's quite a big delay on YouTube. So you know, but YouTube lets you rewind the stream, which is cool. So if you missed something and you want to rewatch, YouTube is the way to go. If you don't really care about watching live, or you missed something you want to recheck. So I guess CLI works as well. Getting back to the... Yes, I can go back. Oh yeah, this is the one I was looking at. Initial commit, which allows you to rewind 2 whole minutes. Well, it's not really rewinding. It lets you make a clip of 2 minutes in the past. Well, at maximum, so it's not really rewinding. And YouTube, like YouTube rewind. YouTube rewind. Oh, is there a YouTube rewind for 2021? I didn't really follow what's happening in popular media days, so I have no idea, but I imagine there should have been one. There's always been one. So remote URL. No, there was a rewind button. There's a rewind button. Didn't come. Wow, that's interesting. Oh, jumps back 2 minutes. There is? Okay, I'm out of loop then. Yeah, it's been a while since I watched the stream then. Where is that button? I kinda wanna see it. Second. Okay, let's open my stream and mute it. And I don't see a rewind button. So maybe, yeah. Share, port. Oh, for Prime members. Oh, yeah, that would make sense. That's something that Amazon would do. Yeah, I can definitely see that being done. You're not Prime. Yeah, I didn't see any button. Maybe it's a region lock. That could be a thing. So they are just testing it as a new feature, and just has it enabled for a certain group. Who knows? Who cares? Get in it. But yeah, YouTube rewind. Like if you want to rewind the stream, yeah, YouTube is the way to go. Also, since I am not affiliate. Well, affiliate is the first step in YouTube, and then you actually write commit to following certain rules. You get a bunch of perks, but until then, it doesn't really care that you stream to both platforms at the same time, because I think when you get to affiliate, you basically are not allowed to stream at the same time to a different platform. So you have to stream to Twitch, and then if you want, you can publish it later on after the stream has passed, after like X amount of hours. I don't remember exactly. I just remember it being a thing, and people were complaining about that. But that doesn't really affect me since I'm not an affiliate. And I'm not. It doesn't look like anytime soon I will be an affiliate. So I just take it, use both at the same time. Yeah, well, it's just how they do business. So Twitch is, you know, it is the major streaming platform, and it kind of wants to keep it that way, and that's one of the ways to do it. So all the it's a way to force all content creators that are actually popular to just stream, be exclusive to Twitch. Because why wouldn't you just stream to all the platforms and let people choose whichever they prefer? And yeah, YouTube has, well, Google has the capital to implement a better solution. Like rewinding the stream is a really nice feature to have. It used to be, it used to work like that on Twitch, but I guess they removed it for whatever reason. Yeah, so why would people watch? Well, basically, yeah. Right. So CLI, I need the arguments, private, internal, main. So it creates a local database. Git add, git commit, initial commit. So it commits to the local database. So B means bear, if I remember correctly. So it initiates a bear repository. So create a repository. Adding project GitHub, okay. Adding project GitHub without GitHub CLI. Okay, so these are the steps. Local repository. Where's the actual connection? Remote add origin. Okay, so this is what I'm looking for. Let's see if I manage to do this first try. Add git repository. Yeah, let's do the remote one. This is not the way. We'll use the local ones. Clone git repository. Yeah, this is the one I'm looking for. So URL. Maybe I should be looking how to clone. Owning git repository. Yeah, this is a thing I do once, like every 6 months or so. Whenever I create a new project that I want to share in Git. Git scam, SCM. It's a good name. Good SCM, Git SCM. Owning GitHub repository, it's not even in the top choices. GitHub don't like people knowing how to. Oh, it is the documentation, okay. Using command line, there are two ways to clone: using git and URL, or using GitHub command line interface. Like, I don't like, why do they have to provide their own software? Like, they are hosting Git. Like, well, it's Microsoft, it has to be like that, I guess. Git clone, GitHub, your username, your repository. Oh, so, okay, that's what I was looking for. This is what I want. My username is every time. Check. My profile. Project. Okay, was time VPN. Right. This. Come every time. Whatever /VPN. Right, HTTP. Now, what are the defaults? Do I need to change this? Pretty sure I don't. And do I need to provide my own username and password? Application. Yeah, this dark theme makes it a little bit hard to see. Oh yeah, so the fields are actually here. Username and password. Imagine the port is default. It is the general interface. It is not only for GitHub. It is also used by GitLab, and Gitbucket. While GitHub CLI supports GitHub specific actions. Yeah, I understand the point, but why would you use it? That's the question. Okay. Maybe I'm being a bit too harsh. I just like everything that's comes from Microsoft, like the software solutions from Microsoft, like I just naturally dislike them because well, I like the terminal. Yeah, well, I'm sure it's fine. Like it was made by quality developers. Like Microsoft definitely has the resources for that. Right, so user, let's say it's my user. Username is actually every time, if I remember correctly. Password is this. Next. Main, okay, next. Directory git VPN, yeah, let's save it here. Remote origin. And this is good. Okay, so I have my Git repository, okay. Don't remember, how do I create a project and publish it here? That's how it works. At least that's how I do it. Let's see. File. New project. Oh, actually, I don't know what kind of project it will be. Ah. Guess I can make a general project. And default location, that's fine. Call it VPN. References has none. Okay, I don't think that is how you do it. Like, why are the bots so active today? I understand the dislike of Microsoft. I don't really like them either, but they are hard to avoid. Visual Studio Code is the best that I have tried. GitHub is the de facto Git hosting service. Pyrite is just much better than MyPy, etc. Yeah, well, that's why that's how they stay relevant. They acquire relevant software, and yeah, you know, it's well, Visual Studio is their own creation. Visual Studio is actually a very good piece of software, but you know, they made it for themselves, so it makes sense that it's good. So if they want to, they put in the effort, they make it work. I think I'm doing it the wrong way around. You need to import project. Yeah, import project. Ian. Oh, the project already exists with the same name. Okay, let's delete the project I created. So let's put. Oh, I should have deleted the files as well. It will, if it will let me import. Oh, it is selected, okay. Finish. Yeah, so it created. So this, so yeah, I see the files and everything. So that's cool. So I can work, I can see what's going on. That's cool. Let's open README, see what happens. VPN collaboration, what's OMD? What kind of format is that? Open it with text editor, let's see what's inside. Oh, okay. Collaboration with streamers. Make open source VPN. With crypto characteristics. Okay. So we have that. Let's try committing this. Team commit initial commit. Yeah, I haven't actually, like, none of the projects I worked on were very strict about structure of comments. So I'm sure there is a good reason to have very well structured, very well formed comments, and this is not one of them. So I think the first line is supposed to be the title of your comment, and then you need an empty line, and then you write out the explanation of your comment, of your commit. So updated description. Well, this time it barely has anything. Oh, commit and push. That's what I wanted to do. Damn it. So I guess I need to go and do push from here now. Branches, local, push branch, push to origin, remote origin, okay. So it asks for my password again. It's fine. Oh, well, I guess it's time to reset my password again. Copy paste is not my friend. Like the thing. Let's see, login. Oh, it wasn't correct? What? Oh. Oh. I don't know where that password was from. Apparently it wasn't from GitHub. Someone hasn't changed it. Yeah, that would be funny. Artist name. Timers. Pretty sure that's set. Oh? What? Okay, well, I guess it is definitely time to reset password, because don't know it or something. Let's see. Profile. It's gonna be in the settings. Accessibility. Count? Okay, I don't want to change this. I want to change password. Delete your account. Okay, don't do it. Account security, old password. Okay, let's try and guess. Let's see if it's actually correct. So this, my old password. Let's make a new one. Update password. Password changed successfully, so the password was correct. So why didn't it work here when I tried to commit the changes? correct. Right. Let's see if auto fill in will work. Oh, well, there. Didn't. Every time, so the name is correct. Oh, maybe I need to enter the full email. Well, if it doesn't accept again, right? Not authorized. Can't connect. What? Push branch. What's up with these bots? Like, it's in the middle of the week. Right, block, unmute. Right. Yeah, I guess we're witnessing the latest innovations in bots on YouTube, which is cool, I guess. Right. So it asks again. I should just save the password and let's use the actual email this time. Okay. Password. And save it. Guess don't save it. Didn't like it. Hit Discord. Going on. Can't connect to any URL error while committing code from Eclipse. Oh, well, that would be something Microsoft would love. Wouldn't be rush to fix. Okay. While connecting, GitHub account, go to tokens, generate new token, make necessary selection, but must select repository, click save. So the token instead of password in the Eclipse. What other tool? Yeah, that's another way to authenticate yourself, not using passwords, but yeah, I guess that's, well, I guess let's do that. Settings, tokens. The tokens in my settings? Imagine it's in the project settings. How do I go back? That's gonna just open general stuff. Start the topics. Don't want, like, that's why I don't use GitHub. It does has so much stuff that I don't really care for. Project. We go back. Our profile. My project. What do you want from me? Welcome to projects. Built like a spreadsheet link. Such a nice feature. Oh. Okay, let's here. Right in. Don't really care. Wait, is the project gone? Oh, I created just a repository. Okay. Go to its settings then. Yeah, I won't be using that many tools, at least now. Tokens, webhooks, branches. So this should be under security. There should be ability to create token. Secrets. Here, clicking it. Let's click secrets, but off stream. see what happens. Secrets. There are no secrets for this repository's environment. Okay, let's create a new secret. Oh, so it's just internal variables. Sort. Okay. Depend on what secrets. Credentials that are encrypted. Anyone with collaborative access in this repository can use the secrets for Pendabot. Pendabot is toy keys. Okay, I don't really care about that. Integrations. So imagine this should have GitHub. So I don't like this already. It's pushing down so many features I don't really want, and the things I want are that easy to find. Applications, webhooks. External sources notify about events. Features. Projects. I don't really want project. Give it default. Discussions or button. GitHub pages danger zone. Of course, there is transfer ownership. It's dumb. Okay, let's go to the projects. Let's start a project, I guess. Add a project. But again, sorry. Data and account secure. See how that goes. We have a hit or miss track record at this point. Okay, personal access token to use in a place of a password with a command line. Yeah. If you use CLI, you can skip generating a personal access token. Convenient of you. Personal access tokens. Yeah, okay. Familiar with tokens. Also, tokens is just a unique string that's sent instead of your password. I'm going to use path to access resources. Just authorize the path. For more information about authentication, there will not gonna be single sign-on. Is basically a single sign-on is a service. Basically, there's a server running the authentication software, which well, Microsoft's version is single sign-on. I don't remember which, or maybe it's just the industry term. So basically, it just manages all the logins. So if you log in once in the system, all the systems connected to it will know who you are. So you will have to log in only once. So it's convenient for enterprises. So they do it this way, and yeah. And authorized personal access token. Have enterprise cloud documentation. So yeah, this is enterprise features. A security precaution automatically removes personal access tokens that haven't been used in a year. Okay. Oh, so in my own settings, set in the project settings. Okay, personal access tokens. Okay, let's do that. As in the first. Oh, that's why you don't use what's its name? Stack Overflow. It's okay. Personal access tokens. Really see like that, and feature preview setting, developer settings, developers. Okay. Personal access tokens will be here. Oh, nice. And create a new token. Happens. Note. Expiration. I don't want to expire. Not expire. Scopes. Repositories. Let's make it all. Not make it all, actually. Right package. Package was like, it says so many features at this point. Like, it's cool, I guess, if you're gonna use all of them, but at this point I just want a repository. Okay, note. Main token for committing code. Code. Generate a token. Okay, so it showed create a token and expire code. Not all that visible. Okay, let's do that again, but off stream this time. Generate a token. I have the token, copy it, and then back to settings. So now put it token, GitHub token. So let's change authentication method. So VPN, properties, configuration, okay. Patch remote main. Oh, I can't really change. Did you succeed? Yeah, I created a token, which seems to work. Now I just need to change the authentication mechanism used. Yeah. Push to origin. Okay, it doesn't give me a choice here, so I think I need to, when I add a repository, I can choose add a repository, clone, local, clone a Git repository. This one. So this just gives me a name, like a username and password. Repository path. Huh. There should be a different option. Okay. Guess it's time to Google again. Hey, maybe this. Oh, so it's SSH. Okay. Git from repository settings. Git SSH URI. Okay. Okay, let's try changing that. You can't really change that here. Oh, actually, it doesn't give you that option here. Set merge remote? No. Let's see. It's Eclipse, be sure to use the SSH git URI project. Does it actually list all the repositories here? So preferences team. Git. Configuration, repository settings. But this is a global thing. My local battlebot. I need to manually enter it. Stuck. I'll just set a new one up. Let's see. Delete the repository for now. Delete git, also delete working tree. Delete everything. So stupid that you can't change. I'm sure there is a way to change it. It's not obvious, so I just don't bother. It's easier to just make a new one. Phone. So oh, it remembers my choices, so that's good. So we use SSH this time. Hopefully that works. And it asks for, should give me an option to add an SSH key. Provide information. Have these continue. Oh. Do that again. Like this. Okay. An error occurred. Trying to connect. Correct URL, no network connection. SSH is not configured correctly. Didn't have SSH in the end. No, it does. It should have git. Otherwise it wouldn't be a repository. So guess I need to check. Is it next? Oh, it gives me the same. So preferences, network connections, SSH2. Preferences, connections. Yeah, this. Oh, network connections. Okay. I don't want to show my keys publicly, but the key I got I will save into a new file. Leave it as these each folder. Okay. Home. SSH. To see show hidden files. Oh, let's just save it in home directory. Okay, public. see, GitHub token. Save. Add private key. So there should be. GitHub token. Let's use this. Apply and close. And try again. Oh. Remember my. Okay, this. Actually, SSH. SSH next. Correct URL. Maybe, well, okay, let's try adding some, Git. Now this will change anything, but it might. Yeah. SSH is not configured correctly. Check. Maybe I just saved it wrong. Let's open one of the. Yeah, this is kind of annoying. I understand. It is annoying for me as well. But hopefully you won't have to struggle through this. Well. Let's see. Home. Sage. Oh, so these are completely different things. The token is, yeah. Okay, so this Git. Okay. Look through what Git clone. Press create enter cloning empty repository. Cloning works fine, but the committing part is the one that doesn't work. Cloning. Okay, cool. Was it access to network? No. Yep. What's the name of it? So well, it feels like it's something I should do off stream at this point. No documentation. What's the actual GitHub? Oh, it was in. Oh. Here. Settings, developer settings, access tokens. Okay. Oh, that's good. It didn't show it. Never used one. Okay. Okay, using personal access token. Token. GitHub on Eclipse. I wonder how hard it is on the Visual Studio Code. That's the other major editor, or integrated development environment. Go to setting. Okay, so this is Stack Overflow. Eclipse. Eclipse because documentation might have something more detailed. Okay. Token repository for you. Connector supports creating task repositories for working with GitHub issues, pull requests, and there's so many things I don't really care about. Pull request. LSG lists. Okay, don't care about that. GitHub issues is not something I want to work with. Pull requests, I guess. I'm back, welcome back. I'm still struggling. This seems to be quite a task to figure out. File in GitHub connector. Oh, so I need to have, okay. Task repository. What I want a normal repository. So task repository is fine. I want to work with tasks. What though? I'm not even sure how to set up tokens properly. How can I store? Okay, GitHub has frequently asked question. I wonder what the answer is. I think you've been working on this. Data to problem, please describe. How can store a GitHub access token in Eclipse workspace? Why do they need Eclipse EHE workspace? What do they mean by that? EHE workspace. Turn enhancement. Let's see. Let's see your authentication. Workspace when your workspace started after you have the token injected. Yeah, this is annoyingly complicated. An option to store access token from workspace graphical user interface settings. Okay, what's the other option? The option they are talking about. As a link, let's look at this. Mounting a secret as a file space container. Oh, this doesn't look right. Just look on, okay, using GitHub on Eclipse. See what this returns. Maybe there's a lesson guide. Apparently I need one. Git user guide. Git. This is for Git, not GitHub. But that's what everyone uses. Single project version control. And this is not. This has nothing to do with GitHub. Oh, so this is where. Next one is Stack Overflow. The answer is Git. Okay. Expand network connection of SSH to home. Configure correctly. Usually this is contains your SSH2 key. Oh, so it should be in that folder. Okay. These are private keys for. Okay. Dumb. Oh, so annoying. So I need to keep. GitHub token. So I take this, put this in this directory. Let's not have it named anything else. GitHub token. GitHub token. Okay. Back to the settings. Network SSH, yeah, this is no longer needed. Moved into this SSH directory. I am close. Git clone. Try again. SSH. This. Okay, try again with vpn.git. Connection SSH. Imagine the port is default. It still doesn't like it. Maybe it wants the. Okay, let's use. It shouldn't need the username and password, but maybe. I'm blindly trying things at this point. The port should be fine. And this is kind of sad. Oh, very sad at this point. I thought this would go better. Well, my hope was that GitHub is a little bit more user-friendly. Oh, maybe I'm just too dumb user. It has. Can't be. Not that it can't be it. Just looking at the amount of documentation they provide, like how they expect you. Like they want to push down your throat their solutions, and if you don't want to use the GitHub application desktop version of it, like it's not obvious at all. And why wouldn't they accept username and password? Like, oh, it works for our product, but if something else uses it, then correct, and it's not valid. Owning help anyway. Here. So this is for eGit. Do I actually use eGit? That's another question. Let's give it a second and check what we have installed in Eclipse. Maybe I'm using something else. I imagine it's default. Oh, it only has the PyDev. Try looking at GitHub. Maybe there's a plugin for GitHub? That wouldn't surprise me. Node clips. Start close. Visible Eclipse. No, look like it. I just do git. It shouldn't require anything special. Oh, that egit. Is it even listed here? Should be. Privacy. Icon. Interesting. Git integration for Eclipse. The distributed, okay. There is integration with Git already. I don't really want additional software if I don't need it. Okay, let's go back and get Google results. Git this 07planning.org. Project to GitHub. Okay, I have a project. Well, I have a repository. Next on Eclipse, create a project name. Okay. Share project on Git. Okay. Makes sense. So when I'm committing, okay, so these windows look quite dated. Yeah, so uses HTTP, which is no longer a valid method. Yes, that's what you get for not using Microsoft software. Integration becomes very difficult. GitHub. Eclipse integration. I guess I need to use this egit to get it working with GitHub. Yeah, I think I'm done with this for now. I'll just figure it out off stream, because it's just gonna be googling. I guess I'll just showcase how I figured it out, how I made it work. How to use egit. Well, how to use git. Git is, yeah, it's built in pretty much. Let's look about egit, GitHub. Yeah, user access authentication token. Okay. Okay, I guess that's the way to get it. Hopefully it lets you add other types of repositories, not task repository only. Potentials. Currently, eGit for connector has supported only username password authentication. Yeah. Also supports token authentication, which is needed for working with accounts that have two-factor authentication enabled. Of November 13. It also no longer accepts username password authentication. Oh, so it's a recent change. That's why it's so difficult to find. Oh, it's not recent. It's 2021. So I'm still living in 2021. So 2020 was just ended. Yeah, actually, yeah, it's a year old, more than a year old change. But my Eclipse environment actually is quite old. Let's see, 2020, yeah. So 2020-03. So this is way too old to work with the new GitHub changes. Oh, this is okay, let's install eGit. I wonder if I'll get a new version at all. Here. I should be able to install it from here. Eclipse Foundation. Let's just look at the marketplace. Marketplace. Git. Yeah, I guess that's how you fall behind. Well, that like. I don't even care that I can't use. I don't know the latest. I don't have the latest features enabling me to use GitHub. Please eGit. Let's install this one. Even though the following solution are not compatible with the version of Eclipse. Oh, guess I need to update my Eclipse installation. And I definitely not gonna do that on stream. Again, well, yeah, I just can't be bothered. I'm too demotivated after this fail, spending so much time and realizing, and in the end it turns out my Eclipse is just too old because the changes they did to authentication are more recent. That's so annoying. I guess tomorrow evening I'll have everything ready. I should have everything ready. If I don't, I won't stream. Tomorrow morning I'll continue working on my configuration bot. At least I'll do something productive. Something, at least something is going well. I'm really happy with the progress there at least. And this GitHub integration, it became such a huge piece of not software, but such a huge system that you need to read a book to know how to use it at this point. That's how I feel. Maybe that's what I end up doing, because I kind of want to figure it out. I just kind of want to. Yeah, I guess I will be reading books at my spare time. So in the morning I will be streaming, and daytime I will try, well, in between streams tomorrow, I will try installing the latest version of Eclipse. And yeah, because Visual Studio Code is not an option for me running Linux, because Visual Studio and Linux do not mix. And even if they do, I don't want to mix them because it's gonna be more Microsoft BS. That just they will need some .NET framework crap. Well, .NET framework is not crap, but it's just gonna be a lot of headache involved. So I will try to get Eclipse working with GitHub, latest version installed. Installation is gonna be quite straightforward. I just don't want to go through it right now, setting up the workspaces and so on. Well, it's just a wizard, but where is it? Let's see. Git, well, Eclipse. IDE. Go from eclipse.org, you get a download, and it's pretty much next, or you can even have a version where you don't need to install it, you just run it. So yeah, I'll just have a new desktop environment, development environment for this GitHub integration, or for this project on GitHub. And tomorrow, I guess even if I don't get it working, yeah, tomorrow I can start researching how VPNs work and how to implement one. So that should be interesting, hopefully. Hopefully it will go better than this one. Probably not. Yeah, there's probably gonna be a bunch of things I need to figure out. But I'm not sure if it's a good idea to do that on stream. I think that's beneficial. And yeah, hopefully it is beneficial. It is maybe not entertaining, but educational. At least watching someone else suffer, maybe it could be entertaining as well. And yeah, but yeah, it's just, well, as a developer you get used to hurdles like that, like it's a day-to-day thing. Like nothing works right off the bat, so everything needs a certain amount of massaging to get it working, get it set up. And well, when you get everything set up, then it's just pretty much smooth sailing. And that's why, well, like, and remembering all of the things that are specific like are not that worth because of it. Because after like 3 or 4 years, when you need to do it again, it's all changed again. Like it's all different again. So that's why I don't bother remembering all of this stuff. Each workplace will have their own setup. Will have their own applications and so on. So yeah, it's even if you know how GitHub works, like no one will be using GitHub in enterprise. That's not gonna be useful. Well, you kind of will know the concepts, but that won't help you all that much. Well, I guess you will understand the explanations. That's good. Well, but yeah, I'm done for today. It's a little bit on the wrong. Like, I see the viewership was good. Well, good for the relative term. So people were watching, except I didn't really have to show anything. I didn't really have anything to showcase. So that's a little bit disappointing. I have other stuff I need to do tomorrow as well. So I'm not sure if I... Well, okay. Well, anyways, I'm going. Whoever's still here, thank you for watching. Hopefully it will go better